Hello, everybody. It's Josiah back again with another important message. I got two videos for you guys today. First, I want to say I really enjoy giving you guys these messages. I'm hoping, even if it only reaches one person, I hope this changes someone's life for the better and hopefully help them come closer to Yah. My first message for the night is going to be about spiritual warfare. Now, if you go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, it basically speaks about how we should fight a spiritual battle. Now, this one is tricky simply because we're fighting. When I say we, I'm talking about we as people. We're fighting something we can't see. This is not a person face to face. Spiritual warfare, 99% of the time, is you're fighting entities and spirits, things that you can't see that's very, very dangerous. Now, number one, you want to, like I said, look up Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10, and it talks about how to prepare yourself for the battle, which is the helmet of salvation, the shield of faith, the gospel of peace, and the sword of the Spirit. Now, I got like about 5 or 6 points, and I'm going to try to make this quick. First, spiritual warfare. Now, I know I wasn't around in this time, and I'm sincere when I say this. Every time I see videos or see history books with this stuff in it, it just does something to me. It makes me so sad. Spiritual warfare that a lot of people saw that lost their lives, which was so evil, was back in, I want to say, World War I. Now, don't quote me here. I can't think of the actual location and place. All I know is this. There was technology used in World War I, which was disguised to make it seem like fog. So the people at that time, they had never seen technology like this before. They're just, living their day-to-day lives, thinking that nothing is, weird or anything. They're just living. And you wake up, you see something that looks like fog, and nobody's near you because the evil technology that these devils have makes it so where you can't see anything. I mean, and there's soldiers and troops who are miles away, gunning these people down, laughing about it. I'm talking about with military, with assault rifles, grenades, cannons. These people never seen nothing like this before their life. And these people are crying, hollering, the screams. Oh my goodness, I just cannot stand what they did in World War I. All those people who lost their lives. And you know what the sad part about this is? And I'm finna get to my other point. The sick dogs that did this mostly got away. Most of them fled to other countries, and you know what? The government did nothing about it. You know why? Because they were in cahoots with it. And I think it's a crying shame what happened to all those people who are just screaming and crying, and there's just hours upon hours of just gunfire, just shooting people, and just nobody saw this coming. These men were miles away, so nobody really knew. You just heard the sounds of the scary gunfire coming at them. It just breaks me down to even relive that. Let me get on to my other couple points. It's sleep paralysis. Now, I've never had this before, but I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of people who talk about this. This is basically when you're asleep and you feel like an evil presence upon you. Some people say that they're in a dream. They can't breathe. They try to scream out for help. Nothing is working. There's this dark entity. Now, you can't see this because, of course, you're sleeping, but you can almost pretty much feel what's going on. And this thing is choking you out, suffocating you from breathing, trying to make sure that it kills you because, once again, entities in spiritual warfare, they don't like human beings. Their whole goal and objective is to destroy us. So once again, if you ever have sleep paralysis, I would advise, if you can, call out on the name of Yahuwah. These demons flee. They get afraid. The name of Yahuwah scares the living crap out of them. And that's the only way you're going to get them to leave when you're battling spiritual warfare. And once again, these things are not here to, joke with you or play with you. If you ever witness this, please just scream out the name of Yahuwah and you should be okay. Another thing that I would call spiritual warfare is, once again, this is stuff that you can't see. So the 5G towers, of course, we're all aware of. They came, I want to say like around when COVID was very, very bad, around 2020, where they were installed in most states. Now, spiritual warfare from these 5G towers is because they're all around our houses, they're all around our apartments, they're all around our grocery stores. We'll be, walking, feeling fine, feeling okay. And then what maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, you start getting these evil thoughts. You start getting these just weird feelings. And you know why? Do not be afraid when I tell you this. These people, and I say these people are the government, they have this kind of technology available at their use. They can send out frequencies and certain frequencies that make you change your mood for the worse. Because once again, their whole objective is to make every human on earth that's not rich, they're here to oppress us and try to make us lose our minds and go crazy and deny Yahuwah. Spiritual warfare, this last point, and I'm getting ready to wrap this up, is sometimes when you're in the wilderness. And when I say wilderness, you're not praying for vanity. I'm saying you may be praying for things that you really need, such as better health, I don't know, a better transportation because your car keeps breaking down. And it seems like every time you pray, Yah isn't answering. You're frustrated. And then the enemy creeps in. He starts planting thoughts in your head. Well, why don't you become a Buddhist? Or why don't you become a Satanist? I mean, look at all these people who believe in Buddha and Satan. They got everything together. They're prospering. And look at the Christian. He's not getting anything. Spiritual warfare is dangerous. And once again, I keep saying this and I got to keep hitting this point home. It's so dangerous because you don't know where this is coming from. It's not a person in front of your face. It's not a group of people in front of you. This is something that you cannot see, but you can feel it. You can surely feel when something is off or presences that are in the room that are affecting your mental, are affecting your health, that are affecting just your day-to-day routine. You can feel when something is off. Now, I know you guys may not agree with this, but this point here is something that is just scary, but it's true. For all the brothers and sisters out there who are fighting sexual sin, and yes, I have to be upfront and say this because this is all a part of spiritual warfare. When you say, you know what, I want to practice celibacy, for the women who say that, it's basically when you don't have sex until you're married. And for the brothers, it's basically for you the same thing, when you don't have sex until you're married. Let's say you've been sexually active for 17, 18, maybe 19 years of your life. And you come up and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't care how strong the urge comes. I'm not having sex or masturbating or anything. I'm just going to fight this until I can't fight it anymore. You're lying down in the bed. All of a sudden, you start getting these weird, strange urges, and you start searching in your phone. You call up an old ex or a girlfriend of yours that you have, and vice versa for the females that could be listening. You're looking to call that guy up so you guys can, do the stuff that you shouldn't do until you're married. Spiritual warfare is going to attack you mainly in this area because it wants you to fornicate. It wants you to be adulterous. It wants you to do these things because it knows in the scriptures that Yahuwah said that we shouldn't be practicing in sexual sin, and he made it clear. No sex before marriage. Once again, no sex before marriage. Now, I'm not here to beat down the person who may have had a child out of wedlock, or maybe more than one child out of wedlock. But it's just important that you stay away from these sexual sins, because I can tell you this for a fact, and I know this for a fact. Once you start diving in this stuff, and you've been doing this for years, picture it like a bank. You put money into the bank, you keep putting money into the bank, it grows, and you don't touch that money for 8 or 9 years. You go to the bank and you look and see how much money you have in that bank. It's like, wow, I've got over $8,000. Now, I'm just using that as an example. But the same thing applies to sexual sin. You keep masturbating or you keep having sex for, like I said, 17, 18, 19 years. This spirit starts to grow spiritually, meaning you cannot fight this thing because it's so big for so many years. You've invested so much sexual time in it that it's almost impossible to get this demon off of you. And I promise you guys, this is going to be my last point, and it's going to be called evil spirits jumping from body to body. Now, this is another tactic in spiritual warfare. I think I've covered this before, but it's always good to touch this stuff up because some points I forget. I plan to have these good little live streams or what have you. And then after I'm done recording, I'm like, man, I forgot to mention this. But let me not digress. When you're in the occult or you're diving in religions that you have no business diving into instead of Yahuwah HaMashiach, these spirits, when they see that you're serious and you're going to leave this religion to follow Yah and you really mean it, trust me, this stuff gets ugly. I've told you on numerous occasions, I've went through this on an accident when I slipped into New Age, where everybody around me was just so weird and demonic. I mean, it's something almost, if you guys have been through this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you probably may think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you guys the truth. It's like everybody around you, close family members, co-workers, people that you see in the grocery store, everybody just seems so demonic. And it's like, I've known this cousin or uncle of mine for, 10, 12 years. Now, all of a sudden, why is he acting like this? And you can see it in their facial expressions. You can see it in their demeanor. You can even hear it in their voice. You can tell that something is off. Once again, that's a spirit that jumps from body to body. And if you guys have seen, and I'm not here to try to give this man credit, but Denzel Washington had an older movie called Fallen. And a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, have seen this. Now, I'm here to tell you, the way that they had it on the movie, I don't think the spirit literally jumps like that from person to person. But it is possible to where, like Denzel Washington, everywhere he went, he kept seeing this demonic entity that just wouldn't stop following him. And it was making him do crazy things. Heck, he almost got blamed for a murder. In fact, I think he did. Let me not digress. Let me get back to the point. The point is, these spirits that jump body to body is spiritual warfare. Once again, you cannot see this spirit with the naked eye. You can't see it. So this is something that you're going to face that's going to jump from body to body when you start, like I said, diving in wrong religions and they see you're serious and you want to leave that religion to go to Yah. It is going to attack you. My advice would be too, for all my, I forgot to mention this, all my brothers and sisters who are going through sleep paralysis, is to play on YouTube. There's segments to where you can listen to gospel music or Christian. And I know what some of you are going to say is all of it is corrupt. No, it's not. There's a lot of bad people in it that's, rotten and low down. But there are a few good people who are still legit. And I would advise, when you're going through those demonic attacks, if you start playing Christian music and you lie down and you have it on repeat, those entities will flee in a heartbeat. I mean, you'll be surprised at how much better sleep you guys have gotten once you start playing that music while you're getting attacked. Once again, this is about spiritual warfare, how to fight it. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 18, And it talks about the salvation of the sword, shield of faith. These are just, like I said, it's a wicked war because it's something you cannot see. And you're trying to figure out where is this stuff coming from, but it's spiritual and it's evil. And I hope you guys have learned something from this message. Stay close to Yahuwah. Keep praying. And I'm going to leave you guys on this note. Keep your body moving. Let's exercise and let's work out. You guys take care. Have a fantastic morning.